What if you could build serious full body strength without a room full of machines? No fancy equipment, no complicated exercise menu, no 2-hour gym sessions, just 3 fundamental movements and the discipline to keep getting better at them. Push, pull, squat. At first, they sound almost too simple, but simplicity can be deceptive. Because when you look at how the human body is actually built to move, these 3 patterns cover something incredibly important: pushing strength, pulling strength, and lower body strength. And that raises a bigger question. Could 3 simple, marine-style bodyweight movements replace your entire workout? The answer isn't as simple as yes or no, but the lessons behind this approach might completely change the way you think about strength. Let's start with the first movement, the push-up. Almost everyone knows how to do a push-up, but very few people actually master it. Most people think of the push-up as a chest exercise. And yes, your chest is working, but a properly performed push-up is much more than that. Your triceps help extend the elbow, your shoulders stabilize the upper body, your core keeps your torso rigid, your glutes help maintain alignment, and your entire body has to move as one connected unit. Think of it this way. A push-up is basically a moving plank. The difference is that instead of simply holding your body against gravity, you're repeatedly producing force to move it. And that's where quality matters. You can perform 50 sloppy push-ups and barely challenge the muscles you're trying to develop. Or you can perform 15 controlled repetitions with a full range of motion, a stable torso, and deliberate tempo, and create a much stronger training stimulus. So the goal shouldn't be to chase a number just for the sake of a number. The goal is to make every repetition count. Control the descent. Keep your body in one line. Don't let your hips sag. Don't shoot your hips toward the ceiling, and don't rush through the hardest part of the movement. Once standard push-ups become easy, you have options. Slow down the eccentric, pause near the bottom, elevate your feet, change your hand position, move to a harder variation, or eventually add external resistance. This is the principle of progressive overload. And here's the important part. Progressive overload doesn't always mean adding more weight to a bar. It can mean increasing difficulty through leverage, tempo, range of motion, pauses, or resistance. That's one of the biggest lessons of minimalist training. You don't need a new exercise every week. Sometimes you just need a harder version of the same movement. Now let's move to the opposite side of the equation. The pull-up. If the push-up teaches you to push your body away from the ground, the pull-up teaches you to pull your body towards something. And suddenly, your own body weight becomes the resistance. That's what makes pull-ups so valuable. You aren't asking, how much weight can I lift? You're asking, can I control my own body through space? Your lats are working, your biceps contribute, your forearms and grip are challenged, your upper back has to stabilize, and your core has to keep the entire movement under control. This is what we call relative strength, the amount of force you can produce compared with your own body weight. And that's a quality that matters far beyond the gym. But here's the problem. For many people, their first pull-up is extremely difficult, and that's okay. If you can't do one yet, you don't need to force a bad repetition. You build the movement one layer at a time. Start with a dead hang to develop grip strength. Then learn to control your shoulder blades. Use assisted pull-ups if necessary. Practice controlled negatives, slowly lowering your body from the top position. Over time, your strength catches up with the movement. Eventually, 1 pull-up becomes 2, 2 becomes 5, 5 becomes 10, and suddenly, you're no longer just performing an exercise. You're controlling your body in a way you couldn't before. And that's the beauty of bodyweight strength. Your progress becomes visible. You can literally feel the difference. But once you master the movement, the challenge doesn't have to end. You can slow down each repetition, pause at the top, increase your range of motion, or add external weight. Again, the principle stays the same. Give your body a reason to adapt. Now we come to the third movement, the squat. Because if you only train your upper body, you're building an incomplete system. Strength isn't just about your chest, shoulders, and back. Your lower body is the foundation that supports everything above it. And the squat is one of the most fundamental human movement patterns. We squat every time we sit down. We squat every time we stand back up. We squat when we lower our body to the ground. The movement is simple, but when trained deliberately, it challenges your quads, glutes, hamstrings, adductors, and core. More importantly, it teaches your body how to coordinate the hips, knees, and ankles. That's why I don't see the squat as just a leg exercise. I see it as a movement skill. Your body has to organize itself under load. Your feet have to create stability. Your hips have to contribute force. Your knees have to track properly. And your core has to keep your torso controlled. When the basic bodyweight squat becomes easy, you don't necessarily need to start doing hundreds of repetitions. You can make the movement harder, slow down, pause at the bottom, increase the range of motion, add explosive variations, move to split squats, or eventually progress toward advanced single leg movements. Once again, the goal isn't to collect exercises. The goal is to create adaptation. And now we have something interesting. Push, pull, squat. 3 movements, 3 fundamental patterns. But can these 3 exercises really replace an entire gym? Here's where I want to make an important distinction. No single workout can do everything. And 3 exercises aren't a magical solution for every goal. If your goal is maximum muscle growth, athletic performance, or complete physical development, you may eventually need more movement patterns. You may need a hip hinge. You may need loaded carries. You may need direct core work. You may need explosive training. And you absolutely need cardiovascular conditioning if you want complete fitness. So I wouldn't tell you to throw away your gym membership tomorrow. That's not the real lesson. The real lesson is much more useful. Learn to identify what actually matters. Because a complicated program isn't automatically a better program. A workout with 20 exercises can still fail if you don't train consistently, if you don't progressively overload, if your technique is poor, if you never recover, and if you constantly jump from one program to another. Meanwhile, a simple program built around a few fundamental movements can produce impressive results when you stick with it long enough. That's where the Marine-style mindset becomes interesting. The goal isn't to build a body that only looks strong under perfect conditions. The goal is to build a body that can perform. Push, pull, move, stabilize, and keep working when fatigue starts to build. That's a different definition of strength, and I think it's one worth paying attention to. Because real-world strength isn't just about what you can lift once, it's about what you can control repeatedly. It's about how efficiently your body works as a system. And it's about whether your strength is still there when you're tired. That's where the mental side of training enters the picture. At some point during a hard set, your muscles start burning, your breathing gets heavier, your brain starts telling you to stop. And that's when discipline becomes important. But discipline doesn't mean ignoring pain or training through injury. That's not toughness. That's poor decision-making. Real discipline is knowing when to push and knowing when to recover. The strongest people aren't necessarily the ones who destroy themselves every workout. They're the ones who can train consistently for years. Because strength is built through adaptation, and adaptation requires recovery. So if you wanted to turn these 3 movements into a minimalist training system, you could keep it remarkably simple. Train 3 days per week. Start each session with push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. Perform multiple quality sets. Stop before your technique completely breaks down, and then track your progress. Maybe you add 1 repetition. Maybe you improve your range of motion. Maybe you slow down the movement. Maybe you graduate to a harder variation. That's progressive overload. And that's how 3 basic exercises can continue challenging you for months or even years. But here's my personal takeaway. The biggest lesson isn't that everyone should train like a Marine. It's that you should understand the power of simplicity. Push, pull, squat. 3 movements. But behind those 3 movements are some of the most important qualities in physical training. Strength, control, coordination, work capacity, and consistency. You don't need the perfect gym to get started. You don't need the most expensive equipment, and you definitely don't need a workout with dozens of exercises just to make progress. You need a system that's simple enough to follow, hard enough to challenge you, and flexible enough to keep progressing. Because at the end of the day, the question isn't how many exercises do you do? The better question is, are you stronger, more capable, and better conditioned than you were yesterday? That's the real goal. Not more exercises, better movement, not more complexity, better consistency, and not just looking strong, but actually becoming stronger. If you found this video useful, hit like to support the channel. Share this video with someone who thinks they need an expensive gym to get stronger. And if you want more science-based breakdowns of military training, body weight strength, and the training systems used by elite performers around the world, make sure to subscribe, because in the next video, we're going deeper. What happens when you stop training just to look strong and start training to perform under pressure? That's where strength gets really interesting. I'll see you in the next one.